All right, my man, state your name and let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
All right, Real Talk with Nick, right out. Real Talk with Nick. This is Matt Nelson, CEO of Pedigree Hoops,
Okay.
CEO of Die Hard Records.
All
We're
right.
out here just repping the culture, streetball culture. And right now, we on live.
All right, man. Talk to me, man. This is Nick content, man. Are you a Nick fan, man?
I'm definitely a Nick fan. I've been a Nick fan for the longest time, since they had Trent Tucker
Oh, okay.
and Gerald Wilkins and all those guys like that. So I've been a Nick fan for a long time.
All right. So like I know, there's been a drought when we speak of.
It's definitely been a drought. However, I'm one of the guys that say I like the Carmelo era. Me personally, I think Carmelo Anthony had the Garden rocking. Right now, I like that era. You know, I like the Spreewell era.
Okay, with
Right
Patty and
Spreewell. You know, Pat, LJ,
Starks and so forth. Chris Childs.
Yeah. I like that. So I'm one of the guys that believe that in sports, it's entertainment. So not every team is going to win the championship. However, I felt Carmelo Anthony was a great Knick.
Okay.
So I like that era.
All right. Now we speak of Carmelo Anthony. The critics would say that he play ISO ball.
Basketball is ISO ball.
Okay. Then I'm going to bring that up to speed. When we got, some say, Mr. ISO 2.0 on the Knicks today, when we speak of that, of Julius Randle.
See, I'm one of the guys that believe that basketball is 5-on-5, but each man has to be better than their opponent's man. So when you really break the game down, the game is really one-on-one position. So ISO ball, if you're a great player, not every player can isolate and score. So if you got a player that can isolate and score, that's a plus. So Julius, being that he can ISO, that's a plus. Not everybody can do that.
Okay.
Carmelo was excellent. Not everybody can go one-on-one. That's the essence of the game.
Okay. Do you like where he stands today with the New York Knicks? Do you
Carmelo?
No, Julius.
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
But you know there's a controversy when we speak of his name.
Yeah, he's a max player. They gave him his money. And
You feel he's worth it?
I do feel he's worth it, because when you look at the Knicks, who else you going to pay in that position that can do what he can do? He's a power forward. He scores, he shoots, and he does what you pay for. There's not 5 other Julius Randolphs in the NBA. It's not 5. Like that core group of superstars, he might be right outside of the core group of superstars. However, he's definitely worth his money.
Okay, so
I'm not necessarily a Julius Randolph fan.
Okay.
I just got to give him props for what he do. Because if you subtract him, we don't make the playoffs those 2 out of 3 years without him.
Let me ask you this, brother. Is it safe to say that, because I'll keep hearing this, who are you going to replace? Right? So are you standing with him because we can't find nobody, like you settling?
No, I'm going with the decision of management. Meaning when they brought him in with intent. He was a lottery pick too, if I'm not mistaken. He was drafted pretty high by the Lakers. So the fact that he was nurtured and groomed by the Lakers, he came here with some type of reputation. He was not a scrub right now. So I think if the Knicks is building, he's a good building block.
He's a good building block.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so you say you on the Team Randle.
I respect him. I'm saying I'm not necessarily a Randle fan, but I definitely respect his game.
Okay, so what?
Me, for example, as we talk Knicks ball, this past season, I believe Coach Tibbs messed up, because when R.J. Barrett was stinking up the game, not doing so well, I think he could have went to the Frenchman, Evan Fournier, or Derrick Rose to give us a little 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes to help us. But he kept riding with RJ, and we lost. Not only say that to say, when you don't utilize your whole team, it's going to hurt you in the long run. So Julius Randolph, sometimes if he's doing his job and now we got Brunson, if they both doing their job, we need the other people to do their job.
Okay. Now, when you speak of the coach not utilizing his players, you definitely feel that he should have gave
Derrick Rose or Evan Fournier some burn. Yes. Evan Fournier
Mm-hmm.
could got us
Fervor.
10 points. He's a shooter. Derrick Rose could have got us 10 points. RJ was struggling.
Now, what series did you feel RJ was struggling? Because
The
to
one,
me,
the one we
he got us
eliminated.
through Cleveland, man.
Okay, he got us through Cleveland, but the next series when we lost, when he was stinking it up. The next series, the series against,
The Heat.
the Heat, stunk it up. Stunk it up. RJ stunk it up
Why you say that?
because
What did you see that made you feel that
number
way?
one, they gave him max money. He's a starter. He's a scorer. I'm one of the guys that look at basketball from a scoring point of view. If you average 17 points and you don't give us 17 points, you hurt us.
I thought his average went up, 19 points.
I'm going to give him more. So the more you give him, let's give him, he averaged 22 points. If you average 22 points, but in the playoffs you only give us 16, 17, 18, those 5 points hurt you.
Okay. Now, as much as you give praise to Julius Randle, in my eyes, right,
Mhm.
he's the one who stunk it up during the postseason, man.
Both of them. But I'm only saying right now is when we really looking at the totality, they did better than what they was expected to do. So number one, they wasn't expected to go that far, so they exceeded all expectations. However, they could have went a little further, in my opinion.
Okay, now, being that you said that the Knicks organization proceeded the expectations, right?
Mhm.
Did they really? Come on, man. We ain't have a championship in how long, man?
It's hard to win a championship. It's hard. To win a championship, you gotta have everybody gotta be on the same page. From the ball boy to the people at the concession stands. Everybody gotta be in sync. And you gotta see the teams that win the championship, you can see it from the beginning of the season to the end. Denver Nuggets was in first place all year. All year. And they really shocked everybody because they had to get through the tough West. They had to get through Phoenix. They had to get through LA. They had to get through that tough West. And for them to come through, I really think they're the shock of the NBA. So when you say the Knicks to win a championship, first we got to get some continuity, which fortunately we got with Tom Thibodeau.
Is Tom Thibodeau the right coach, man? You just said yourself that he won't rotate his players in so many words.
If you get rid of Tom Thibodeau, you're starting all over. So what I'm saying to you, the continuity of having Tom Thibodeau for about 3 or 4 years now, and him putting them in the playoffs. Previous to him, we weren't consistent in the playoffs. So I'm going to say to you,
Yeah, the last time we went to the playoffs was under Mike Woodson, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah.
Before Tom Tibb.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's no consistency. So you got to keep consistency that builds the continuity. So when you say is Tom Thibodeau the right coach, I want to say yes. I'm not a Tom Thibodeau fan. However, I like what he's doing so far with the Knicks.
All right. Did you feel that way when we just traded Obi Toppin to the Indiana Pacers for 2 picks? You don't even know who them 2 picks are,
See,
man.
what happens too, these interviews are good, and people like yourself that got your own platform and interview common Knicks fans,
Mm-hmm.
you get to voice your opinion.
Right. That's what this is about.
Obi Toppins was an underachiever for us. So if you're not going to give him a starting position, you're going to have to let him go. So them trading him was the best thing they could do. I wouldn't have traded him.
Okay, I was about to say that because
wouldn't
when you
trade
say he was an underachiever.
I didn't say I'm saying he's underachieving with the Knicks. He was also a lottery pick, if I'm not mistaken, right now. So the Knicks don't necessarily do good with their draft picks. However, I'm happy what they did with Quickly, and I'm happy what they did with RJ, because traditionally they don't do good with their picks. And to draft Obi and trade him, I don't think that was smart. I would have just gave him a role and said, listen, we need you for this role, because he does good coming off the bench for us and spotting in for Julius.
So what you think we're going to miss, being that we no longer have Obi? Like, what was Obi's strength that you think now that he's no longer with the Knicks organization that we're going to regret?
Obi in the NBA, he changed the tempo. So he get in the game, he could run, he could shoot, he's very athletic. So I think we're gonna miss his athleticism. However, when you got the big guy Sims on the bench and you got all these other players. The Knicks is loaded with tweeners right now. So actually allowing Obi and trading Obi opens up the door for some of the other players that they're still developing right now. So I'm gonna miss Obi. I liked Obi.
You like
right
Obi?
now.
Does he remind you of a Stoudemire? If I'm speaking too prematurely when I say
he wasn't as prolific as Stoudemire, because Stoudemire right out the gate was giving you 20. Now, if you say, okay, Obi shoots more, he shoots more jump shots than play inside out. Maybe that's the climate of NBA, but Stoudemire would be more inside, more dominant right now, throw his weight around, dunk. You know what I'm saying? So I would say he's a Stoudemire type. I would definitely say that. He's not far off.
He's not far off.
Not far off.
Okay.
Not far off.
And as far as Emmanuel quickly, man, he asked for the $100 million extension.
You know what's funny about the NBA? Look at Jalen Brown getting $304 million for 5 years. So if Jalen Brown got $304 million, you're gonna have to pay quickly market value, but you can't really play a non-starter another $100 million. So guess what? They might have to trade him too.
Now, got rid of Obi. Now you at risk of losing Emmanuel quickly. Are you dismantling the youth core of the Knicks, man? Because we thought we was gonna have the blueprint of the 76ers, right?
The 76ers is a bad blueprint, as you can see. They're not a good blueprint, because as good as Embiid is, and as good as James Harden is, or whatever they look to do, and their other Kentucky guard, they ain't do nothing. They ain't win nothing. They might have took one step further than the Knicks.
Okay.
So that's not a good blueprint. I respect it, but it's not. I wouldn't model that.
And as far as the big men, when we speak of that, of Mitchell Robinson, man, and
I like Mitch
and the other dude that plays behind him,
Sims, Jericho. No, the white boy.
Yeah.
You got Jericho Sims.
Hardestein.
Harstein's the white boy.
Yeah.
White boy hustle. But guess what? That was Obi minutes. So they chose Hartenstein over Obi.
Ain't that insane?
Now look at it.
Ain't that insane though?
It's insane. However, you got to look at Hartenstein is less, they say, less upkeep. Obi want to start. He's in the office every day. I want to start. Hartenstein just want to play. Him and Jericho, they just play. They just come in and they do their job. So they basically shipped off a headache. Obi was becoming a headache, in my opinion.
And you would think the guy who pushes the coach, the guy who thumbs down Knicks fans, this guy, without mentioning his name, fuck it, I can't hold the water, Julius Randle, you think he would be the headache? You think he would be the cancer?
Julius Randle, why you mad? He got paid, he get his money, he start, he got a green light. I'm happy. I'm in New York. I'm a Knicks fan. The hardest thing to be is a star in New York. And he is right a tier under a star because New York get on his ass. And that makes him better. And for him to be able to absorb that and take it and come out and still deliver, you gotta give him some credit for that. It's not easy to play here. It's not easy to play in New York. It's not easy.
I like to ask my interviewees when I hear that it's not easy to play here in New York. How come when people get traded off the Knicks and come to the Garden, they have a spectacular game?
No, because they hold so much animosity, and they want to prove to the whole world or prove to the organization y'all made a mistake right now. Because the Garden and the people that run the Garden, they don't necessarily care about basketball. It's more business. New York Knicks, whether they win or lose, is still sold out for the last 10 years. Win or lose, New York is still a top 3 franchise in terms of evaluation. They're one of the highest valued franchises out of the whole NBA. So people come back to the Knicks thinking they care. They really don't care.
Damn.
I just say, I don't know necessarily do interviews, but I respect you and I respect the platform, and I actually feel comfortable with just expressing my feelings because I think basketball now is turning too political
Why you say that?
because it's not about the best players no more. The best players might never get on the court. It's about the most accepted players that the coaches anoint. So if you're coachable and the coach anoints you, or you got a good agent and they anoint you, you're gonna get some burn. Sometimes the best players don't get no play. So they might have to trade quickly because they can't afford to pay him. He's turned into a $100 million player. Just like Obi, they could not pay Obi the money. This is business. They couldn't pay Obi the money, so they had to
Because they was locked in with Julius.
Yeah, they locked Julius, RJ, and Brunson. That's $300 million players. Can't add with so many.
Okay. Now I'm gonna close it out with Jalen Brunson, man. He's the best point guard on the Knicks since who? In your eyes, man. Rob Strickland.
I'm gonna give him
Mark Jackson.
I'm gonna give him a combo. I think he's as good as
Marbury.
He's a mixture. Take a piece of all our great point guards and give it to Jalen. Take a piece of Stephon. Take a piece of Raymond Felton when Raymond Felton was good. Take a piece of Ross Strickland. Take a piece of Mark Jackson. Take a piece of all our great guards. However, he was groomed by a no-nonsense guard, Rick Brunson, his father, who also played for the Knicks. Rick Brunson was a hard-nosed player, and some hard-nosed player. Now you should research this because I remember this clear as day. If you search Jalen Brunson's upbringing with his father was having difficulties training him because his mother felt he was being too hard on him, and Jalen Brunson wasn't taken to it. And his father told his mother, "Listen, if he wants to be great, you gotta let me make him great." And the beautiful part about it is not only did he make him great, he made him a max point guard in a tough NBA. And if you really peel back the layers, it was his father that took him through all those levels because he wasn't a highly touted, as they say, guard.
Okay.
And right now he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He plays like the epitome of how a New York player plays at the height of a New York hungry baller. Jalen Brunson represents the whole Knicks.
He represents. All right. Now, you said something quite interesting. We're going to close out behind this one. You said Jalen Brunson is a piece of a lot of greats that played for the Knicks under the as a point guard.
Yes.
What do he got that remind you of Mark Jackson? What piece of Mark Jackson does he have?
He got vision. Now he's actually a score-first guard right now. But Mark Jackson had vision. Brunson has that vision. However, Brunson is a dominant guard, just like Mark Jackson.
Okay, Marbury. What piece of Marbury he got?
Aggression. Marbury get on the court to be the best guard. Marbury get on the court, you could get 25 up with Marbury. Jalen Brunson gonna give you 25 or up. So he got the aggression, he got the heart right now. Marbury, to me personally, I'm a Marbury fan. Marbury, to me, felt like he was always one of the best players on the court.
Okay, and Rob Strickland, what piece does he possess when you speak of Rob
Strickland? Also another dominant guard that step on the court, and they step on the court as if they're the best player. Rob was a different guard than Mark. To me, he was a score-first guard, and the passing came along with it. So Brunson takes that also. Score first.
All right, my man. Listen, I want to thank you for coming on Real Talk with Nick. Let them know who you be.
Definitely. Nat Nelson, CEO, Pedigree Hoops. Nat Nelson, CEO, Die Hard Legacy. Follow us on all socials, Die Hard Legacy 90. There you have it, man.
All right, yeah, peace.